Hi guys, back from Mitrovica. This is my 2022 tour to show you Mitrovica, this beautiful capital in the north of Kosovo. It's very beautiful. It's a big environmental liability. I don't know if you can see this huge field of environmental wasteland, and it's deeply problematic. I will show you more. I call the European Union to invest more. We need 1 billion euro for the north of Kosovo, for unity, for prosperity, for cleaning up and for greening the north of Kosovo. It's really a very bad situation. I think you can see it. Look what a lake, what a wasteland. This is one of the Yugoslav leftover legacy projects, and 20 years there was really very little support and progress. UNMIK, under the French management, Mr. Macron, has simply closed it, and now you see this huge territory. It's huge territory which is basically an industrial wasteland. Thank you, Tito. And here we have this problematic area. And the EU, I mean, that's why I'm calling so much. EU, please. Green Deal. Hello, Green Deal. It's very good if we are getting from whatever Kyoto number perfect, always more perfect. But in Europe, here in Kosovo, that's Europe. That's a EU accession country. We have this kind of conditions in 2022, and nobody cares. We need, we can of course drive the French environmental levels and the Germans and Austrians ever cleaner, but in our country everything is clean already. Of course we should protect the climate and we should end carbon. I'm very much in favor, but we cannot leave things like that. In 2022, it's so bad. Look at it, I'm here on the hill above Mitrovica, and I'm calling the EU, take responsibility. Kosovo must fulfill the standards of the DG environment like all accession countries, but with the help of the EU. Now, just to postpone things because it's expensive and complicated, and because of course it's very toxic and problematic. That postponement is not the right solution, and that's, by the way, just half of the area. There's more to see. There's much more. And I call EU, please. You must change that. We must have a different approach. It's just one of the environmental waste. There's also something in Podgorica, this aluminium works. There's Elbasan. I will show you some of them. I cannot show everything, but what I can show, I will show. And Yugoslavian and Albanian industrialization in Albania by the Chinese, and here by Yugoslavia themselves with Soviet engineers or alone, they have left this disaster. And we need to clean it up, but we need to clean it up now. And there must be this courage to have a European environmental union and then the funding from the EU, like we cleaned up Malta and Hungary and Czech Republic in the last 20, 30 years since the end of communism. But by the postponing of enlargement, by saying this is not our issue, let's take it, the Kosovo should take it, then they sell it to Chinese or whatever, or just leave it, because of course it's hugely expensive. And then, of course, instead of ignoring problems, we should fix the environmental challenge, solve the financial challenge behind it, and make it ready for investments that they can reasonable, commercially sound investments, instead of leaving things like this. Of course, the state must take over the environmental liabilities of the past and also the old debts. There's no doubt. This has then to be shared by the state, by Kosovo or by Serbia, by the countries together, and then obviously to share the cost with the EU in terms of environmental liability. And then it's cleaned up for an investor to really address the natural resources issue together on a concessionary basis, and then there will be employment, there is long-term economic prosperity. But the ignoring which we did of the last 20 years in the past, ignoring the past debts, ignoring the ownership issues, ignoring the environmental liabilities, then leads to the fact that the underlying natural resources are also not exploited, and the people have no other way than leaving to Austria and Germany, because here it's wasteland. It is environmental very hard for the children. There's less and less opportunities, there's no employment, and there's no educational opportunities. Why can Mitrovica not be like Wels or like Linz and be a center for metallurgy development, and with schools for that sector and with educational opportunities? There is $1 trillion worth of assets lying underground. Let's not forget, the billion which the EU needs to invest to clean the past up is leading to $1 trillion triggering, then maybe it will be a bit more even than $1 trillion, 1.5 are the estimation. There is huge potential here. But first we need to fix the past, the financial and the environmental burden of the past. Please EU, more responsibility. Time is for now.